Lesson 1.2 dives into the role of the estimator. We'll look at how estimators interpret drawings, measure materials, and connect design information to real-world costs. By the end, you'll understand how vital your work is to every stage of construction. Welcome to Lesson 1.2, the role of the estimator. In this lesson, we're going to look at what estimators actually do, how we take technical drawings and turn them into the data that drives every decision on a construction project. Estimating is more than math. It's about understanding how the design on paper becomes a real structure in the field and what it takes to get there. At its core, an estimator reviews the drawings and specifications to figure out exactly what the project requires. We measure materials like concrete, drywall, or steel, and calculate how much labor and equipment will be needed to install them. But that's only part of it. Estimators also study the details, what type of finish is called for, what codes apply, and whether the design is practical. We make sure every part of the project is accounted for before the first bid goes out. Then we communicate our findings to the rest of the team, project managers, engineers, and owners, so that everyone understands the real cost and scope of work. Estimators are the bridge between design and construction. We review drawings before work begins, catching errors or missing information that could cause expensive problems later on. Our takeoffs and pricing create the project's final foundation, the budgets that determine whether a design is feasible, how it's scheduled, and which subcontractor gets awarded. In other words, the estimator is the first safeguard for accuracy. If something is missing here, it can ripple through the entire build. Great estimators share a few key skills. First, attention to detail, because every measurement and note matters. Second, clear communication. We need to explain complex data in simple, actionable ways. Third, a solid understanding of construction, how materials behave, how trades interact, and how the job is built in real life. And finally, organization and time management, because estimating often means balancing multiple deadlines at once without sacrificing accuracy. So the key takeaway here is this: estimators transform drawings into real numbers that shape every project decision. We turn lines on paper into labor, materials, and cost, the very data that brings the design to life. In the next lesson, we'll explore the different types of construction plans and how each trade's drawings play a role in that process.